What's up, you guys? It's coming at you here with another deck profile, and today we will be profiling my friend Esteban's Satellar Knight deck profile. So Satellar, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, Satellar.
So what's the reason you play Satellar?
It's a deck I used to play against back then, way back then when they were top tier. I decided to play them now because they're pretty good in countering other decks right now. Because basically some of the combos just stuns decks for turns.
Okay. So let's talk about the strengths and weaknesses of this deck. What are its main strengths? What are its weaknesses?
They float like crazy. Kaijus don't really affect this deck. They spam like crazy and basically can LTK your opponent once you clear their board.
Okay.
Their weaknesses is pretty much just Ash because of the one search, but if you can get around that, that's pretty much it. Obviously, the main thing that all decks have to face with is Strike and all that stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
What is your best and worst matchup?
Best matchup is Pendulums. Worst matchup is most likely True Dragos, unless because of Masterpiece and all that bullshit.
Is this a go first or go second deck?
This is a go first deck.
Go first deck. You have to go first. Win the die roll, go first.
You can go first, and if you're forced to go second, you have to side deck first for drawing cards that you don't want to go for second.
Alright, Vishnu, man, let's get into the monster lineup and why each one.
Alright, so the bread and butter of the deck, triple Deneb.
I like that. I like that.
Deneb is your searcher. So on summon, it's an if effect, so if always wins. So you search for a Satellar.
Alright, now a quick question. What's the difference between an if and a when effect?
The if effect is, it will happen no matter whatever you do to it, unless you strike it or something. The when will miss timing.
So that's what makes if superior.
Yeah.
Alright, perfect.
So usually you use that to search your other monsters.
So it's a searcher?
Yeah. Your next is your Monster Reborner from the graveyard. Altier lets you summon the net from the graveyard basically. So you get to search again if it was there last turn. There's only one little bad side to it is that you can't attack with other monsters that aren't Satellar. That's about it. Next in the lineup is triple Satellar Vega. Now what he does is he lets you summon a Satellar from the hand. So say you have the Deneb in the grave, Altier in hand, and you have this in hand. Summon, summon, summon. So you have three monsters. And that's pretty much it. One little thing is they can only activate their effects once per turn. But that's just it. 2 Onkali. She's your Foolish Burial. So there's a good combo later on. But she lets you send your Deneb to the grave and you get to Monster Reborn with Altier.
Nice.
This is a little tech I'm running. It's 2 sites, 1 mono tech. Basically, Pendulum, Spyro, and then Invoked matchup. And this is just to destroy a card when I don't have my Twin Twisters. My one-ups is a Amini Gamma Seal and a Maxi.
Why no other hand traps? That's interesting.
Well, basically, cause I have my traps to help me do that, help me counter their stuff.
Nice,
but you could play hand traps if you want. Replace the artifacts for 3 more hand traps. You could play triple Ash if you want. I technically don't, cause I don't got the money.
But that's what's good about this deck, right? That you can do so much even on a tight budget.
Yeah, pretty much.
Let's get into
moving
the
on
spell.
to the spells, yeah. I play 2 Pot of Diaries. Reason why not 3 is because I don't want to draw them that much. I don't want to go pot for pot. Unless it's the Pot of Desires, which I play 2 of. Helps me thin out the deck.
Remember, kids, stay away from pot.
Yep. And pretty much I want to special sometimes a lot. I played 2 Tether Knight Genesis. Really good against Spirals. Does not target.
What does Satellar Knight Genesis do?
It's a... So, say I have 3 Satellars on field. I can destroy up to... No, I have to destroy exactly 3 Spell and Trap cards on the field. Does not target. So, Spiral Resort does not affect it. Neither does the and it can make your opponent activate their cards they don't want to,
Oh, for sure. Forces thing.
because they won't know they don't know that, but it doesn't target. Double Twin Twister, because why not?
Because you want Satellars in the grave, right?
I want Satellars I want mainly the Neb in the grave, and it's good against Pendulums, pretty much, and it helps get rid of those sets.
Smart.
I played 2 Satellar Skybridge. I might bump it up to 3. This helps me get rid of the monsters that have wasted their effects and get new ones out from the deck.
Nice.
There's a potential TK combo in this. I'll show it later. My 1-ups is Upstart, Raigeki, and Rolla, because they're all warriors. The main card you want to draw, Tether Knight Alpha. This card helps win games, mainly for the fact that I have a monster. Say you activate Desires, I'll negate your Desires. You pay your 10, I draw a card at the sacrifice of one of my monsters. So that always gets those. Play Triple Strike, because pretty much monster effects are a thing. Gotta get rid of those. 2 Sanctums helps get rid of True Dracos, because they pop back row, so basically you set, they fall for it, say bye to 2 cards.
And again, as you mentioned earlier, good against the Spiral matchup as well.
Oh, that
Due to
too.
the fact, and another good thing is due to the fact that Moral Attack does not target, you can bypass Spiral Resort.
I played 2 Storming Mirror Forces. Mainly because Satellar sometimes go weak. Once you used everything and your opponent draws a bazillion cards, and they have no back row destruction, have this set, bye.
And I've also talked about in some of my videos that I think the best Mirror Force for today is meta is Storming Mirror Force, for the reason that Quaking became ineffective once Link monsters came out and Link spam decks became a thing. So bouncing everything back to deck is really important.
I swapped them out for Quakings actually. I was gonna play Quakings, but then I was like, Links don't protect themselves, so Storming wins.
I'm actually pretty happy that Konami made Storming
Common.
It's actually more affordable, and it looks really good compared to Gold.
Now this is gonna be a bit of a surprise, but I main anti-spells for a combo that I use in this deck that's pretty good. Shuts out Pendulums, stalls True Dragos, stalls Spirals too, and the one of the Holy Solemn Warning. The extra deck is pretty simple. It's basically just the archetype. 1 diamond. I play one for the upcoming Fear of Infernoids and Lightsworns. Plus, it also negates dark monster effects, which is pretty good. It's a good floodgate.
For the Invoke matchup, right?
Yeah, and Lightsworn matchup.
Lightsworns.
Next is Satellar Knight Trevor. He's the one I do the combos with. Say I have activated anti-spell. I summon this, return everything to the hand, set anti-spell, discard a card, attack directed for 21, standby phase, activate anti-spell in your opponent's turn, stalls them out of the spells for 2 turns.
So you base your deck more on a control type.
Yeah. Next up is 1 Deltros for just the popping effect and the protection for my summons. Because if he's on the field, you cannot respond to my summons. Now I play triple Dark Tether Baltimus, whatever the fuck it's called. Helps me really out, helps me a lot right now. Discard a card, detach, overlay on top for basically Trevor, bounce back everything, attack for 21 again.
And most of these are almost costless because the Satellars all special summon each other, right?
Yes, the main thing is they all float except for Baltimus and Diamond. Trevor summons from the graveyard and Deltro summons from the deck. So the 1 link is Decode. Gotta for those way outs of clearing my board when I have too many monsters. Everyone's favorite Exceed right now, Babuska.
I think least favorite. Seeing that guy
Yeah, least favorite
without a
depending on who
Kaiju
you're
in
asking.
hand kind of really screws you over.
Real easy in this deck. Real easy to make in this deck.
Considering it's a rank 4.
It's a rank 4. Stalls for 2 turns. You have anti-spell. They pretty much just draw and pass. Honor Arc, still pretty relevant. Gets rid of those their used monsters and you just take them. You can use it as ink material too, so it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Tsukiyomi. Tsukiyomi it's alright. Haven't used it recently. I can use it to pitch and draw, but it's like,
I mean, and all your monsters are light, so
and they're all light.
Easy rank 4.
It's an easy rank 4. It's just,
Considering you play a lot of traps, you can set.
yeah, set, do that. But yeah, it's optional. You can swap this for Tenno Dragon if you feel your opponent is backdoor heavy and stuff. And everyone's favorite, the Utopia
My
package.
boy.
Helps us out against those Cosmo matchups for the side deck.
So let's just basically talk about why you choose each card in the side deck, what you put in, and what would you take out if you when you match up against something.
DD Crow, match up against everything. I don't care what they say, just everything. Spyro, hit the quick fix, especially since Bandless is gonna be out. Invoke, get rid of the Alistair. True Draco, get rid of the Masterpiece.
GD Crows, fellas.
I need a multi.
Yeah, commons are fine too, though.
2 Hanewadas.
For that Trickstar player at your locals.
Hell yeah, man. Sucks I haven't drawn them when I sight them. It's only the fairies, but I love them.
Think about maining them now.
Double Tenko for that Paleo matchup, because why not? They coming back.
Yeah, we are.
Hashtag Street Toad is best.
Yeah.
One Lancia for again Inferno matchup if you ever see one, and Invoke matchup,
Oh, and even Cosmos.
and Cosmos. Oh boy, do they ever get sad? Another Gamma Seal for the Two Dragos. That's pretty much it. And for the traps I cite is one Sanctum, because I feel like maining 3 is a bit cloggy. 2 Master Restricts.
True Draco are still a thing.
Yep,
And to protect yourself from kaijus.
pretty much. No, well, kaijus don't really affect me, to be honest.
Alright.
I'll explain later what happened to me at regionals. It's funny. And now that I'm using this little new card, it's called Recalls. Negates monster effects, so say goodbye to Ash, but you still get to draw one. So that's pretty much it.
All together, and we'll just put it right here, and we'll talk a bit for like 2-3 minutes.
Alright, sure.
So basically, I'm just gonna interview you for a bit. Be ready for anything, motherfucker.
Sure.
He means even having to get under the desk over
Even
here.
having to get under the desk.
Aw, shit.
Talk a little bit about your experience at regionals, because you did play this deck at regionals, right? You
Yeah.
took Satellars, Joey took True Draco Invoke, then I ran with Invoke Hand Trap. So tell us about your experience at regionals, because we all kind of went through the same thing. What were your matchups? What was your least favorite, and what happened?
My least favorite was my first matchup, Table 46, Spirals. Could not do anything. Was not anticipating Spirals before regionals, or at regionals, to be honest.
Because Double Helix wasn't out yet.
Yeah,
Circuit Break
exactly.
hadn't even released. We
Nope.
went to the
It was
Los
actually-
Angeles regional.
It was actually that day too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so-
Like on release date.
Yeah,
and they weren't legal for that tournament, but people still played Spiral.
yeah. My best matchup, my favorite matchup was Lightsworn. First turn, mills himself out. I was so happy. He could have OTK'd with snow, with double snow, but he misplayed and did not. So he left me with like 1,000 life points. I went off next turn, summoned Constellar Diamond. Pretty much locked down his deck. Cannot send cards from the deck to the graveyard. Lightsworns are dead.
So in terms of budget friendly, how budget friendly would you say this deck is?
The core extra deck, depending on what you get it, because the OTs are a bit pricey. Well, not pricey, but they're like $5 and such. Should be about $60 to $70 for just the core and most of the extra deck. The only pricey cards I would say is Regeki, Strikes,
Your staples, pretty much.
your staples. But you can always switch Strikes for recalls to make it more budget friendly. Plus, it's pretty good. What helped me win games at regionals was pretty much the card I was talking about earlier. the Satellar Skybridge.
Why do you play Skybridge?
Helps me get rid of monsters that were ashed.
Mhm.
Lets me OTK potentially. Pretty much what happens is you have alpha on the field set. Your opponent has like say one card because you discarded their main stuff. You have this in hand. You have that set. You have Trevor with a material. Now Trevor's effect, if you have a material and he's sent to the graveyard, no matter what way, even if he's striped, he still gets his effect. You activate alpha, send this to the grave, you get his effect, summon whatever monster you want.
What would you go into?
You mainly summon the Altair, and the Altair you summon that, and then you search for another Altair. So pretty much say you have this in hand, you have another Satellar in grave, say a Deneb. They have nothing left. You go Vega, Altair, Deneb. So that's 5 monsters. You have all this. You have this in hand. So your opponent's at full. So you do 12, 15, 17, 17. So that's 34, 44, 54, 56, 61. And you go Satellar Knight Skybridge. You summon another one from the deck. And pretty much you just summon this one, attack for 18. And normally that would be game because they usually use strike at the beginning. But if they're at 8,000, that basically leaves them at no health points. So they can't even strike you anymore. They can't do soul charge. And that's pretty much it because you discard the 1 card in their hand by going Trevor. And that's it. They get 1 card per turn.
So anything else you would like to add about the deck before we close out the video?
Yeah. Say your Trevor's still alive. You have 2 more monsters. You go Decode. You still get Trevor's effect to summon more monsters. So you end up with a 4-card board.
Not bad.
And then you might even end on Baguska as well, right?
Yeah, you could end on a Baguska.
So thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe, drop a comment down in the comment section. I do reply them. I do read them. So let me know if there's anything you would change with the deck, any card choices you would recommend.
And let's not forget, if you plan on playing the deck yourself, if you want any suggestions against specific lineups, like my man here has played against Pendulum Magicians, he knows how to play against them. He can give you tips on, again, beating them.
Yeah, so feel free to any questions you guys may have, drop them down in the comment section. We will reply as soon as possible. So anything else you would like to add before we close it off?
Masterpiece is a bitch.
And there you have it, folks. Masterpiece is a tough card to get over. So my friend, he stands by the deck. I stand by the deck. I've seen him play. I've seen him play at our regionals. It's a tough deck to play. Skill-wise, it takes time to learn the combos and everything. But other than that, it's a deck he stands by. I stand by. It's a good deck. He's done really well at regionals and consistently tops at our locals. So thank you guys for watching. Again, we appreciate it. Sesma and Esteban, we out.